And we're live with Paranormal Dash Spirits, a place we come to get our booze on. We talk about the booze, the things that go bump in the night. And I get to do that with all my booze. I'm Mike Black. This is Alyssa Black, my wife.
Howdy.
My best friend, John Burkett.
Hola.
Hola.
There's fuzz on my mic cover.
Then unfuzz your mic cover.
I am
Oh,
unfuzzing.
look, I've got some too.
Yeah.
And tonight we're going to bring you a story that starts back in 1900 with the deadliest natural disaster to ever hit the United States. And this was the Galveston hurricane and what became of that and how it played out in the development of one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. But before we do that, let's talk.
Apparently, it is the most haunted hotel in Texas,
Oh, is that what they're saying?
which should be its own country. Let's just be honest.
That's
Just
true.
kidding.
So let's talk about. So if you're listening on the podcast right now, you can go to YouTube and hear us. And on YouTube, we are 3B Paranormal Spirits. You can also go check out our Instagram page, and that's Paranormal Dash Spirits. And that's it. It's paranormal underscore dash, spelled out DASH underscore spirits. And it's the same for TikTok, the same for Twitter. We have a website. Our website is paranormal-spirits.com. And if you go there, that's like a launch page for everything. You can go and you can
That
check
dash
out.
isn't spelled out. That's
It is
just
not. It's paranormal, like a dash.
The dash ain't.
Yeah, just a dash. Spirits.com. And you can go there, and that's kind of like a launch page for everything. You can get to all of our different sites. You can also get to our swag spot, and that's Boozy's Boutique, where you can pick up your wonderful dad cap or your beanie or your coffee mug or your coffee cup or
koozies.
your Racerback tee. And when we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, John's going to wear a Racerback tee for the show. John just learned about that at the same time you guys are learning about it.
You don't want to see that.
I think he's thrilled. What do you think? So anyway,
I have less hair on my back than you do, so
I'll tell you what, if you'll wear a Racerback tee, I'll wear a Racerback tee for the show.
Those are for women,
I'm
right?
sure.
They're not sized big enough for us.
We'll get extra
They're even
large.
small for women.
We'll get a big one for us. We'll be fine.
Get a big one.
We'll get a big one. Okay, so we start off every show, because this is a spirits show. We start off a show with spirits, just like we're going to do tonight. And tonight we are drinking tequila.
Tequila.
That's a little bitty short one for you because you can't handle your alcohol.
So sweet.
This is a big heavy one for John. Can you pass that to him?
Gracias.
Because John can handle his liquor. And here you go, John. Tell us all about
Smells
this, what
good.
we're drinking tonight.
This is Tequila Cenote Reposado, product of Mexico. So cenote you might know, are the limestone caves where water has eroded underneath them in Mexico. You find them in the Mayan areas, in the Yucatan Peninsula.
There's one at Chichen Itza if you go there.
Yeah.
And you can swim in it.
Yeah, you can swim
There's one
in
that
them.
they found that's underneath, and you can swim in it
At
now.
Chichen Itza?
I don't know if it's at Chichen Itza.
I don't
but
think
know
they
it.
let you in the one at
Maybe.
Chichen Itza.
Maybe it's one of those that's right there, and it opened up, and they found this glorious cenote down there.
That's so cool to me.
Just the pictures are just
The
amazing.
Mayans believe that was the passage to the underworld and home to some of their gods and goddesses. And they also found a lot of human remains down there too.
You think that was because they threw the
I don't know if
virgins
those
into
are
there,
sacrifices or if somebody just slipped.
Just drowned? Got drunk on tequila and fell into the
But
cenote?
they did go down in the cenote.
Or the
they
hole
found
opened.
evidence of ritual stuff down in the cenote. So
But like some of them, the one that I saw, the ground just opened up.
Like
and
a sinkhole or
It was
something?
essentially, and they
Yeah.
found this cenote that was like,
yeah, the
It's
limestone
amazing.
just collapses. And But the water is a very beautiful
It's got some
water.
amazing pictures, so that's the thing I'd like to take
Yeah.
a picture of. Anyways.
This is not made in the Yucatan. This is made in Jalisco, where tequila is. But
Like all proper tequila.
it's inspired by that.
Is it made from virginal water from the Cenote?
You know, I haven't been able to figure out the source of the water here. I've been looking at that. I'm a little scared. I always get scared when it says ultra premium.
Like better than premium?
Cenote, it talks about the fresh water. It's been meticulously filtered by the earth, but I don't know if they're bringing their water in all the way from the Yucatan to Jalisco. That's a long way.
I don't know.
But this
I
is
do like the cork
Repo.
on this. This is really cool looking.
This is the Reposado. And it's aged 3 months in American oak barrels. Delivers that. Well, I won't tell you what it tastes like, what they say until after we taste it.
Yeah.
What's the price point on this?
This was $45.
For a $7.50?
$48 if you use a credit card. You know, they have different prices.
Right.
Yeah.
This smells good.
It
Ready?
does smell good.
Cilantro?
Cilantro, slancha, and salute. Tastes good too, but it's got some flavor in there. I don't think that's natural.
You've become a purist on this, I can tell.
That'd be a bit of a pure stop. That tastes like Casamigos or Azul or something.
It's a
I'll
little,
be honest with you.
a little more burny than that. It burns a little bit more.
I get a little bit of cotton candy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I taste cotton candy.
I love cotton candy.
So you
And
would,
I could so taste that now that you said it. I don't know if
can
it
you
was
taste the cotton candy? Because I
Yeah.
can.
And I don't know if that's because it really is there or because that's what you said, but
I think they were going for vanilla, wood spice, and green vegetable. I'm not sure which green vegetable. They're talking about broccoli
green
or
beans?
asparagus or green beans, but I don't taste any of that. I taste a heavy dose of vanilla and caramelly kind of artificial.
I taste a lot of. Well, do we know that it's artificial or did it actually come from the barrel?
It doesn't say no additives on the bottle. And in 3 months,
Yeah, and like I said, we were talking about this earlier on the way back from the liquor store. We were talking about, I don't care what they put in it. Does it taste good?
But it's interesting that we've been
it's desserty tequila.
drinking the ones that don't have additives.
Right.
And you can really taste it.
Yeah,
when
you
get
can.
one.
You can
It
taste the
tastes
additives.
artificial. Kind of like if you were to have normally drink sugary drinks and then you drink aspartame or the stevia kind, you can taste the difference in the sweetness. To me, this one tastes artificial. Like the flavoring. Vanilla. The vanilla is...
Makes it a little too easy to drink.
Honestly, I get a
little
little
burny.
bit of.
It burns.
I get a little bitterness on the backside too, that I don't normally get with tequila. I taste a bitter.
More than the rock.
Terramana?
More
didn't-
than that,
That didn't have a
bitter.
bitter taste to it. It just had it.
Floral.
It
Earthy.
well,
Earthy. Dirt.
it tasted like grass to me. It tastes
don't
like
know.
hay smells.
This to me tastes almost identical to that Crystal 8, or whatever.
The what?
The Herradura?
Thank you.
Really? See, I don't get that.
I don't get
from this.
Herradura. I don't get that smoothness of it.
I mean,
not
it's
as smooth
not
either.
as rounded.
No.
It's a little got a little more edge to it, but
It's a little spicier than that.
I don't
The
know if
heat.
that's spicy, but
But I mean, it burns.
I feel like I should have spent the extra $10 for the La Gritana, where they go on and on about the no additives,
Right.
no whiskifying.
Organic, non-GMO, blah, blah, blah.
But then you wouldn't get the cute little Pope hat.
No,
It is
what?
a cool bottle. The bottle.
The bottle is cool.
it's not bad. This would be a good intro for someone who was like I was before, where you have this horrible memory
Of Jose Cuervo.
like Cuervo or something from college, and then
Yeah.
somebody's, we'll try this tequila.
Or two fingers like Alyssa.
This is a
college.
good way to
What?
break in a tequila shy person.
Yeah, this would be a good one. And because you're not going way above a price point that's
No,
unattainable
they're not going
for
to
some
spend
people.
stupid money on it. It's It's palatable. It does not taste bad.
It's not $165 a bottle.
Like Clase Azul, you know.
It's actually a little less than Clooney juice.
Is it?
Right? He's about $50 for Repo, right? I mean, it's right there in the same
Yeah,
range,
they're about
but-
the same price range, yeah. I got to be honest with you. If I had to choose between this and Clooney Juice, I would go Clooney Juice.
Yeah.
Which, for those uninitiated,
Casamigos.
the George Clooney tequila, I would go with George Clooney Casamigos before I would go with this. And it's not a name thing. I like the flavor of it.
Well, I've been eyeballing this bottle for a while and finally decided to get it. And
I have too. I've passed over it many, many times thinking, I'm gonna try that someday. So now I've done that.
now we have.
Now I've tried it.
I like the bottle.
Oh, that is a fierce vanilla. Like,
Yeah,
nose.
there's some. Yeah, here's somebody added some vanilla to that one.
There's
But
no siete leguas, that's for sure.
no, but I'm going to give it a thumbs up overall because I do not think it's a bad tequila.
No, it's not a bad tequila.
I don't think so at all.
No.
I think that's a good tequila.
They didn't get that flavor from a barrel, though.
Well, no, but do we honestly at the end of the day we don't are we really worried about where they get the flavor from? I want the flavor to be there, either good, bad, ugly, whatever. I want the flavor, and if they have to put a couple of drops of vanilla in there or whatever,
More than a couple
that's
drops of vanilla in there.
do what
It's
than a
pretty
couple drops.
vanilla-y. It's
it
pretty.
is.
It's
It is
pretty
pretty vanilla.
really is.
I agree.
sharp on the vanilla.
I mean, it's
But like you say, it would be a great starter.
a good thing to break a tequila virgin or
Absolutely.
a tequila shy person who has.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
sweet enough. Good dessert tequila. Like if you want to introduce somebody to sipping tequilas, that's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be good with dessert
It's a good dessert tequila. to
Okay,
me.
so
or with a cigar, maybe.
overall, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumb up.
I'm gonna go.
John's giving it a halfway.
Yeah, I won't be buying it again.
Okay.
No.
I'll drink it again.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I'm not going to go buy this for me. I wouldn't go that far. But I'm not dissing it.
No, I don't. I mean, I
think it's
I
fine
don't
to
hate
do
it. It's not. I'm
Right.
not- and it's not like when I get the Coralejo, the Plata last time.
Oh my God.
It's, the Repo's good, right?
Okay.
Plata was like, it is very ethanol-y.
Yeah. It's like Mexican moonshine. That's what it is.
Yeah. You could sip this, or you got to shoot that.
Right.
But I'll probably end up shooting this. That's how it's going to go down.
All right. So that's our booze for the night. We've talked about our BOOZE, which is Cenote Tequila Reposado 100% Agave Azul.
At least it won't hurt you.
No.
It won't hurt you.
No.
It's not like Don Julio. Oh my God, Don Julio
No.
won't hurt you.
Jose Cuervo.
Jose Cuervo, thank
Right.
you.
Yeah, it won't.
It's not going to hurt you like
It won't
that.
do you like Jose for sure. Okay, so let's talk about the BOOS. And for that, Alyssa's going to take us away. Take us away, Alyssa.
Taking us away to Galveston, Texas.
Awesome.
For those that are not Texans, Galveston, Texas is southern, right outside of Houston. The closest beach for those of us that are like East Texans, about 3-4 hours from here.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. I mean, you have your nice South Padre everybody goes to, but that's
8
a
hours
haul.
away.
Yeah, that's a haul. Corpus, 6. Galveston, it's not the greatest beach, not the prettiest sands, but it's a beach. It is very
And brown water.
brown water, yes. Jellyfish.
It is not.
Things
It is
that-
not the
Portuguese
beautiful
mineral
blue water.
Yeah, no, it's not a Florida beach. It's nothing like that. But for us Texans, it's where you go when you live in this area. It's easy to get to. It's also well known for the 1900 hurricane, which struck September 8th of 1900, and it was the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. at that time. There has been other ones since, but
That had beat it.
that has beat it. Yeah,
Katrina, probably.
Katrina
Ike,
beat it.
Katrina.
I don't think Ike beat it. Carla, in terms of the death toll, Katrina for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the time, this was it. And just statistics real quick. Winds estimated over 140 miles an hour. The storm surge was 15.7 feet, which this is before the seawall. So for those that haven't been to Galveston, the entire beach is now lined by a concrete seawall. But that wasn't there. Galvestonians, there were 37,000 residents at the time, and 8,000 died.
And Seawall Boulevard is the tourist.
8,000
20% of the population died.
Holy crap.
During
I didn't
this.
realize it was that
That's
many.
a lot of people.
Yeah, it was 20%.
I didn't realize that many died.
They said in between 6 to 8. Most of them say 8. They say, but they give a rounded number of 20% of the population. And that also in the destruction was 3,600 buildings were destroyed.
Golly. You know, in comparison, we were talking about the one, the Smurl haunting up in, was it Pennsylvania? That I think, and that was one of the deadliest hurricanes, in years.
Oh, because it was so far north.
Yeah, but it was only 135 people died or something like that.
This
As
actually
opposed
says
to
that
8,000 people dying.
it still says it's considered to be the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history.
That's what I read.
There's been some floods that wiped out a lot of people, but maybe you're right. How many people died?
That's true, actually, because only, I don't mean this in poor judgment, but there were 1,400 fatalities in Katrina, and there were 8,000 in this one.
Yeah, so this is the deadliest
This is the
hurricane to ever
deadliest
get.
for the
Yeah.
U.S. history. Also, this is what spurred the meteorology starting to figure out how to predict these storms to protect people in the future. And that's where this I know that's where that really took off, was during this.
And the seawall.
In the seawall. So
To
I'll talk
start-
about
Yeah,
that.
because that came after the hurricane,
Yes.
too.
So to round this out, the estimated damage at the time was $20 million at that time, which at this time now is $700 million worth
Wow.
of damage.
I bet it'd be a lot more than that if they had. I mean, Katrina was billions and billions of dollars in
Yeah.
damage.
Well, I mean, but you think about how widespread Katrina was compared to, and the fact that the water stayed.
Yeah, so my understanding of, as poor as I remember history, my understanding of this was that Texas took the brunt of that hurricane. Galveston took the brunt.
The eye went over Galveston.
Yeah, it took the brunt of that hurricane.
Well, for one thing,
Most
it was
of
the
the damage
15-foot.
and lives were lost.
It was the 15-foot surge.
Yeah, good Lord.
And so to talk about the seawall, so right after that was in 1900. The seawall was started in 1902. Did not complete until 1960.
Wow.
It took them 58 years to complete the 10.4 mile long concrete
They
seawall.
getting paid by the hour or something?
Oh, Lordy.
But part of that is because of how many hurricanes hit in that
During-
amount of time.
That
Because
tore part of
it
it
would tear it
away.
apart and then they'd bring it back. And it would tear it apart and then they'd have to bring it back. So by the time they actually finished the whole thing,
Yeah.
it's 58 years.
Remember
Golly.
the restaurant used to be out on the pier?
Yes.
Rita took that one out.
Yes, Rita did take that one out. So, 1900 was the storm. And 1910 is when we are talking about the Hotel Galvez, otherwise known as the Grand Galvez, otherwise known as the Queen of the Gulf.
See, that's what I've heard it called, the Queen of the Gulf.
In 1910, construction of the Hotel Galvez begins by the Galveston Hotel Company, and it was built to replace the beach hotel that burned down in 1898, which was the only year-round beach hotel there. So they wanted to create another year-round hotel to help reestablish the tourism, because it kind of fell a little bit after 20% of the people died and nobody wanted to go visit. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're good beaches. Think how much less crowded the beaches would be after that.
It's probably dirty.
Because nowadays, or last time I was in Galveston was probably 10 years ago. Well, I know it was 10 years ago. Talk about crowded.
Well, we were there about a month and a half ago, and it's pretty crowded. Where we go is, there's so many places now you can go south of the actual Galveston.
You go to
but-
Surfside, you go to the island over there.
We always end up at Surfside.
Galveston is an island, by the way, but there's another island right up you take the ferry across.
Yes.
Port Isabel.
Port Aransas?
No,
Port Isabel.
Aransas is
Isabel.
by Corpus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And-
My geology's off.
So
That'd be geography.
the Grand Galvez Hotel opened, fun fact, June 10th, which is our daughter's birthday.
Oh.
It opened June 10th of 1911, so it took a year to build, which is a massive hotel, so that's surprising. And it was open as the first fireproof hotel. Which I thought was interesting.
That'd be an interesting experience.
Has it ever been tested?
No,
Oh.
it has not burned, but it has seen some hurricanes. 1915, hurricane hits again. Now, this is also before they started naming the hurricanes. Mm-hmm. So you just have hurricane. It hit the hotel, but it was spared by the new seawall.
Yeah.
So it didn't have a lot of damage. Then in 1918, there's like this whole timeline on the website. But in 1918, a night stay was $2.
It ain't anymore.
I was going to say, I bet it's not now.
And they had about 40,000 guests that went through the hotel in that year.
About 100 times that now.
That's a lot of people. Yep. In 1928, the Baker Corporation purchased the hotel for $1 million.
Baker.
I know. I don't think it's him. It's not him.
It's not. Okay.
Baker.
Not
Yeah,
Baker,
from the Crescent Hotel.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Baker.
Yeah, in 1928, so that the modernization project begins. In 1931, it was sold again to the original people that had backed the hotel. So it kind of switches hands a few times. In 1937, President Roosevelt makes the hotel his official summer White House while he fishes offshore on the USS Potomac. So
I remember that.
He stayed there as his summer White House. In 1940, it changed hands again to the National Hotel Corporation. A swimming pool was installed, a modern motel on the east end of the hotel. So they installed a motel at the end of the hotel. And the Galvez Club was built, which is a members-only club. That was in 1940,
Do you
before
have to wear
the war.
jackets?
The members-only jackets. I know. I thought about that. I don't know. Of course, that's before the war. During the war, 1942 to 1944, the U.S. Coast Guard uses the hotel as its headquarters, and this included a staff living space. There were no guests allowed at this time.
Oh, really? So the Coast Guard, I wonder if they commandeered it or they actually rented it out?
It actually says commandeered.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
did they? Okay.
commandeered it during World War II.
Now there's a big station down there. They got a separate station.
Now there'd be remuneration for that. I mean, they'd have to recoup
You have
some.
Naval Station, Coast Guard Station, and Naval Air Station down in Corpus now.
Yeah. But I'm saying if the government came in and took something from you like that to utilize for their federal purpose, then they would have to pay you back.
Baby.
Yeah, quite well, probably.
$2 a night every
Yeah.
night. 2 years.
Then, just as a little fun fact, then there was an island raid on gambling casinos in 1957.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's when
An island raid on gambling?
island-wide raid
Oh, okay.
on gambling casinos. And all the Galveston rackets were closed, and some of that happened in this hotel. So I thought that was interesting. 1961 is when that's around the time they started naming hurricanes. Hurricane Carla hits on September 11th, on 9/11. And then on 9/12, tornadoes strike the seawall and cut north to the courthouse and destroyed 120 buildings.
The day after the hurricane.
The tornadoes came from the back of the
From the
hurricane.
storms that were created? God, that's crazy.
And so in 1965, it was closed for renovations. In 1971, it was sold for $1 million to the fourth owner, who happened to be the first owner that did not have any ties to Galveston, but he did partner with a BOI, which is born on island.
Oh.
You're called a
okay. So
BOI if you're born on the island.
Just some carpetbagging Yankee came down here and parked.
Essentially, by the name of Harvey McCarty, yes. In 1978, it was purchased by Denton Cooley and starts another renovation in 1979. And then it reopens as the Galvez Marriott under the Mariner Group, and it was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. In 1983, Hurricane Alicia causes damages, but the hotel was reopened the next year once damage was repaired. In 1988, it was sold at auction after declaring bankruptcy. It was sold to the Aetna Life Insurance Company.
I'm glad I met you.
Aetna, it's a joke.
It's an Aetna slogan.
Dad joke.
Aetna, I'm glad I met you.
Nope.
No?
Nope, y'all have lost me. I'm looking to see how many rooms are there. I can't remember what they said. 226 rooms are in this hotel. So let's see. In 1993, the Mitchell Historic Properties purchased the hotel from Aetna for $3 million and then spends $20 million to upgrade it so that it can look like it used to in 1911, to harken back to its 1911 appearance. In 1996, the Wyndham International manages and operates as part of their premier historic hotels, and it was called part of the Wyndham Grand Hotel. In 2002, it became a member of the Historic Hotels of America. In 2005, a second renovation of the hotel removed heavy drapes obscuring the Gulf views and restored the lobby level windows to its original appearance. Fabrics and carpets were updated, and an oleander garden was launched, and planning for the spa started. So it was in 2005. In 2008, the spa at the Hotel Galvez opened in what was once the barber shop and the drugstore. September 8th of that year, Hurricane Ike hit, flooding the entire spa in the complete lower level of the hotel.
September's a bitch for Galveston.
Yes.
Isn't it though? God bless.
So they
the
opened...
first 2 weeks of September.
Yeah,
rough.
so if you plan on going to the Galvez, statistically speaking, you shouldn't do it in September.
Or
Which is
October.
hilarious because I just looked at the prices and they're twice the price during the first week of September, during like Labor Day.
Trying to make up for all the Septembers they missed, I guess.
So 2008 spa opens, same September 8th of that year, it floods. Complete lower level of the hotel floods, and they have to close it for repairs. Reopens in 2009. 2011 was the centennial year for the Queen of the Gulf, and it was celebrated by having a mass wedding vow renewal for former guests who had been married at the hotel.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Which I thought was kind of fun. In 2018, they modernized the lobby and overnight guest rooms again. And in 2021, the Wyatt family purchased the hotel and renamed it the Grand Galvez. In August of that year, of 21, construction plans totaling $31 million begin.
I'm sorry, I thought you said $31 million.
I said $31 million. This is after they just did a $20 million reno in like 05.
God.
Now we've got a 30, but you have to think about it too. The atmosphere here is just, it degrades everything. This salt water is awful.
And the humidity down there.
I mean, it's just, it's so bad. Like, don't take a car down there. Ooh. Don't buy a car from down there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the lobby renovations were completed in June of 2022. And in 2023, complete guest room, pool, and suite renos and the transition to the Marriott Autograph Collection property took effect last Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew when I went to hit the book a room, it took me to Marriott's website.
So it happened on Friday the 21st at midnight that it once again became a Marriott hotel, which it originally was a Marriott hotel in 1979.
Yeah, interesting.
So the fun part, the building was originally pink. For anybody that's ever looked at the pictures, it was originally pink, and the color was created by mixing ground pink granite into the stucco finish, giving the building a glowing appearance when it was illuminated by the sun. It's pink again now after this last reno.
It's pink again. It was white.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because when we drove past last time, it was
pink.
that pinkish.
They restored it back to what they wanted it, what it used to look like, and like I said, it was a mixture.
And when I was there 10 years ago, it was white. Yeah.
I know. Now it's a glorious shade of pink.
I won't.
It's Barbie, but they did it just in time to tie in with the Barbie movie,
Sure
right?
did. So, ghost stories. There is one that sticks out. I was reading that they teach kids about this in school. About this, the lovelorn lady named Audra from room 501. She was a 25-year-old that was engaged to a sailor that had sailed out of the port of Galveston. She was waiting for him to return from sea and a storm blew in. When she was waiting for him, she would often climb a narrow ladder to the 8th floor, which goes out onto a turret that's on the main roof. And she'd sit, there's 4 turrets, and she'd sit within one, and she would look at the sea and wait for his ship to come. Well, she received a telegram that his ship had sunk in the storm. And in being as distraught as she was, she hung herself in her bathroom.
Oh, I thought she was going to jump off of that somebody.
No, she hung herself in
that
the
was
bathroom.
being out there. You're not going to jump off
The
of
whole
it.
thing with up on top of it and
I
looking
know, I
out for
thought,
the ship. I said she's gonna do a swan dive right into the
Nope.
the patio or something.
Hung herself in the bathroom.
I'm waiting to find out if everybody is confirmed dead at least.
Well, here's the thing. The telegram was wrong. His ship didn't sink.
Oh, man, it's just like Dracula Untold.
This is like Romeo and Juliet.
So he returned to the hotel looking for her.
And he killed himself.
Only to find out she had taken her own life.
And he
No.
killed himself.
No.
Oh,
No.
well, then that would have been pure Shakespearean. If
He
he
Pure
were
Romeo and
remarried
Juliet.
and then that,
I'm sure he did. Probably
Wait.
named his first child Audra. I don't know.
He's probably
He
like,
got
man, I
there,
dodged
he's
a
like-
bullet that time.
He's like, why did this crazy bitch not just wait to find out if
Yeah,
everybody went down with the ship? Just because the ship went down didn't mean I couldn't swim.
Well, the thing is that his ship didn't even go down. That's the sad part. That's what's so awful.
Yeah, it is pretty awful. We jest, but that would have been horrible.
It was
too.
a long time ago. It's okay. Nobody knows. I mean, it's okay.
Is that what it is? If it's far enough
Yeah,
back,
it's
you
not
can make
like
fun of it, and it's
too
not a big deal.
soon, You know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
okay,
that.
I
We're
got you.
talking 100 years ago. So
Yeah.
So we've had time to
no,
get over it.
To grow
do we know
callous.
this person's name even?
Audra.
Yeah, last name.
No.
Yeah. So
I mean, there
To
might
grow-
have been one. I'm sure somebody knows it, but I
So
didn't
we've had enough time
worry
to
about
grow
it.
callous, and it's okay to make
Yes.
fun now.
yes, you can make fun of stuff.
So okay,
But depending on the tragedy, also makes difference on how soon is too soon.
that's
Like
that's
you
true.
still can't make 9/11 jokes.
So we can laugh about me getting an erection in algebra class in front of the whole class while I'm working out a problem on the board.
That's not a tragedy, but
No, but I mean that'd be pretty devastating for someone, right?
I mean,
But that was all the way back in like
can't
seventh
believe
grade.
you went
so
there.
well, I'm just saying,
I
it's
can't believe
why
you
would
went
that
there.
be devastating? I mean,
It would be
hey,
embarrassing.
look, I'm a man. Show it to
We
everyone.
digress, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, it wasn't me. It was the tequila. What can I
Raise
say?
the flag.
Jeez.
I thought it was
Raise
funny.
the flag. Poncho.
Oh my God! Yeah, now we're totally.
So this is, I think it's probably one of the most well known because it's sad. It's so tragic. Number one,
That is sad.
it's very tragic. But number two, because apparently she haunts the shit out of this hotel.
Oh really?
So she's rumored to wander the hotel, blowing out candles and breaking dishes. People have reported hearing doors slamming in this room specifically, 501, feeling cold breezes, lights and TVs turning on and off without assistance. Hotel staff has reported issues with the room key electronic system as if there's some sort of interference, but it's mainly just this room. They'll go up there to use their key and it doesn't work.
Oh, that'd irritate the piss out of me if I
Yeah,
paid for
and
that.
it happens over and over again. There was one occasion during a renovation where a housekeeper came up the hallway and saw a bright orange glow from underneath the room. And so she called downstairs and they said the room was vacant. So she walked in and nobody was in there. There was no lights on. She didn't know why she saw it. At the same time, lights had been seen on the turrets on the roof.
Oh.
And no one had any access to flashlights or candles.
It's orbs.
So
Just like those, the Hoyabachu, you know, the floating orange and red orbs of light that.
some have reported seeing a sad-looking woman in a period dress only to have her disappear, but I feel like that happens all the time. I do have a story, though, of these people.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get John to get closer into his mic. That's all.
Why don't I bring it
There you
closer
go.
to me?
There you go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Are you done?
Proceed. Yeah, I'm totally done. I
Okay.
apologize. Technical difficulty there for a second.
So this person, they were paranormal investigators, essentially. They had, like, some K2 machines, or K2, is that a thing?
K2 meters, yeah.
Yeah.
Meters and,
K2
and
meters.
what have you. So she said, we checked into our room and I began introducing myself to Audra and telling her why we were there and how much I'd love to have some contact with her. My husband left me alone in the room while he went out to park the car and get our bags. I turned on the K2 app and told her she could talk to me if she wanted to. There wasn't anything going on with the K2, but soon my husband texted me and asked what was wrong with my phone. He said he tried to call me, but someone else kept answering my phone and his texts weren't getting through. We never did figure out what was going on with that. I got a little weirded out and stepped into the hallway where I promptly locked myself out of the room. When my husband came back up, we went inside together and turned the K2 app back on. This is one of those things where it picks up
It's not an
words.
actual K2 meter. They have
app.
an app on the phone. Yeah.
It's an app on the phone that technically, since there's a I'm going to screw this word up. Magnetometer. Magnetometer.
Right?
Yes, it's the thing.
No R.
Yeah, on your phone or in your
That
phone.
senses where
Right, that you
The
would use
position of
for
the phone,
like
right.
the compass app.
also
Could use that
it
same
knows,
thing.
It knows the orientation of your phone. Like
Right.
Yeah.
So
Boop, boop,
it
knows
technically, I guess it could use that to sense EMF changes. I mean, that makes sense to me.
maybe.
But
Okay.
so anyway,
Well, she said, we turned the app back on when we got inside. I asked Audra to tell me about herself, and the voice on the app said bathroom. Ow. She hung herself in the bathroom. Freaky. It then said drawer. I went to the drawer and opened it, and there were 3 books. I grabbed one and said, "Do you want me to read one of these books?" The K2 said, "Have." So I sat down with the book.
Ovulus. Yeah.
So I sat down with the book I had in my hand and flipped through it. In it was a story about Audra. I read it out loud to my husband. When I got to the part about how her boyfriend had come back and the K2 said, "almost rescued." Weird. I flipped a few more pages in the book and her husband decided to ask her something. He said, "What are you doing now, Audra?" She said, "Presidents." He laughed and said, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." Then I showed him how the page in the book I was reading was about all the famous people who had stayed at the hotel. And included pictures of some former presidents. Then the K2 app said hurricane. Galveston was hit by the most deadly hurricane on record in 1900 and was hit again by Hurricane Ike in 2008, which destroyed much of the island. Other weird things the K2 meter said were veil, stressed, married, smile downstairs, and frightened. However, it also said a bunch of jibber jabber that made no sense. We double checked the app though, and it said if you have the sensitivity to it, you can get a lot of false readings. Maybe it's all coincidence. Maybe some was real. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of interesting that if it wasn't, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of interesting. So other people have reported in this room and other rooms that the drawers open by themselves. And this person has taken a video and it takes 7 seconds for the drawer to slowly open by itself. And then it'll shut back.
What?
For real?
And then it'll open again.
And they got video of it.
Yes. Multiple people have gotten videos of it.
Oh, and this is in 501.
501, and actually in other rooms. 501.
Is it 515? Is that another
floors, one? 501's the big one, but the whole 5th floor is very haunted. 5th through the 8th is very haunted. That's where they get the most that happens.
That'd be impressive to see.
That would be impressive.
I think that would be super impressive
would impress
to
the
see.
Shit out of me.
I've seen some impressive stuff, but that would be pretty impressive to watch it open and close.
That's a lot of energy to open and close a drawer like that. You can slam a door.
It says
one
guy. So we stayed there for a sales meeting. One guy even filmed it and captured his dresser drawer opening all by itself. He said the drawer was open when he came in from the bathroom 3 times, and finally he closed it and filmed it slowly opening over 7 seconds. And it says stay on the 7th or the 5th floor, which are the most active. The concierge will give you one of the electric pulse detectors for fun. Oh. This was in 18, so it may not be the same thing anymore, but I thought that was kind of neat. But I did hear that multiple times in a bunch of different stories. Read that they give you little detectors.
That's worth the $300 a night to see the drawer open and close on its own.
Well, and I will say that's like a beachfront, but you can stay there for $150 for a king.
Yeah, but then you're looking at Galveston.
If you're there for the ghosties, it doesn't matter.
I love it. I was reading or maybe somebody had told me that when we were talking about pricing for rooms for the Galvez, and you can get an ocean view, or you can get a city view.
That's what I said. It was like
it is like
it's $100 difference between city view and ocean view.
Yeah, but have you been to Galveston? Yeah. Have you looked at the city of Galveston?
It's 1 block. It's on Seawall Boulevard, right?
Yes, so it's right there.
Even if it's city view, you're still looking at rainforest cafes and shit, the tourist stuff.
No, because behind it is some
ghetto
ratchet.
It is
homes.
ratchet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just
I've never
1
been
block
off of Seawall,
off.
really.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
go 1 block. It's just like being in Mexico when you go 1 block out of the touristy places.
Out of the tourist places.
Right. You go 1 block out of the touristy areas, then you're in some pretty rough neighborhoods.
You're in Playa del Carmen, you can go Calle Cincuenta. It's like it's 15th Street, but that's 50th. I just said whatever. Calle Quince, right? And even a few blocks out of that, it's still a pretty nice-ish residential neighborhoods and stuff.
Try that in La Paz.
In Bolivia?
You go through La Paz, Mexico. I mean, you go
I thought you meant the capital.
No. La Paz,
sure
Mexico, down in the Sur. Man, when you're on the wall there at the beach, dude, it's like Rodeo Drive. It is fancy schmancy. You go 2 blocks in, and it is rough. I mean, they have razor wire, glass broken on top of the haydite so that
Jamaica's like that too.
Dude, it's rough, man. It is rough.
You get outside of the
rebar,
the resort,
rebar,
the touristy areas, and it's hayed out block houses with no window and no glass in the windows, just open windows to ventilate it. And
Yeah, so Galveston is like that when you get off the seawall.
True.
It's pretty rough.
But that main road that goes up off the seawall back up to Houston through there, it's not too bad because there's some mansions and stuff that line that one. And then on the canal, on the waterways and stuff, there's nice houses.
Right. But the overwhelming majority, it's listed as one of the worst, if not the worst place in Texas to live.
Oh, man. No, there's places like Jacksonville.
No, I'm telling you this. I'll send you the link for it. It's the worst. Actually, Jacksonville is up there too.
You're derailing my story.
I'm totally apologizing because we were talking about Lovelorn Lady, and I saw you searching. I was trying to buy you some time.
I'm not searching. I was looking at pictures of the Galvez that I have because a friend just went there this last weekend.
Yeah.
Fifth Ward.
To tell you that it's a U shape. So depending on what part of said building you're in, you know, you could, the front of it faces the beach, but the back of it, like, if you were on this side, there's a street right here, and that could probably, you'd see the Rainforest Cafe. You along over here, you are not seeing what you want to see. There's nothing over there.
That's what I'm saying. It's rough.
You don't want to see that.
So what you're saying is the 1900 hurricane didn't wipe out enough.
Yeah,
they just rebuilt.
They rebuilt it shittier.
Yes.
Just go ahead and get the ocean view. Pay the extra.
Yeah, it is. I think it's probably worth it. But
okay, I apologize.
No,
for
you're
derailing.
fine. It's fine. So one of the other stories that you would hear if you go on, they have ghost tours and such. But one of the other stories is about Sister Catherine the Nun, St. Mary's Orphans Asylum.
Orphans Asylum.
Orphans Asylum. Yes, the things we used
named
to name
a long
things.
time
They were
ago,
just,
I'm sure.
You know, it was destroyed in the hurricane of 1900. And there's two stories. I've read where the hotel is said to have been built on top of the ruins of the orphanage. There's another story that talks about how when the hurricane came through, that the nuns used ropes to tie themselves to the children so they didn't lose the children in the water. Well, Sister Catherine tied herself to some children, and they said that because of this, that they likely all died because of this tying. They couldn't get away from each other. They found her and multiple children tied together, found their deceased bodies, and wherever they were found, they buried. And then on top of this, they built.
That's what I heard. There's a mass grave underneath the hotel.
They say it's a mass grave of that, or she's at least on the property. So
I thought it was worse than that, actually. I thought it was a mass grave, like where all the people that they weren't identified or claimed after the hurricane, they put them all in a mass grave and then built the Galvez on top of it.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think so. Well, according to this, that's not, at least not when it comes to the orphans asylum. There were 10 nuns and 90 children that were killed from this orphanage.
Well, that's okay. That's 100 people.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still pretty massive.
There's 90 children.
They're buried under that.
They said the body of the nun and the children was found either on the beach near the Galvez or on the property, and they are rumored to be buried on the property where the hotel now sits. So there's two stories. They're either buried there or it's built on top of the ruins of the orphanage, regardless.
So do you hear children's laughter and stuff?
Yes. There's been reports of a young girl bouncing a ball on the lower levels of the hotel, sounds of children's laughter and running in the spa and throughout the hallways. At times, people have reported feeling children wrap their arms around their legs in a way like they want attention or protection.
Trying to get away from the nun spirit. You saw those movies, you know.
There was actually a story from the woman that is the ghostess. She does the ghost tours. And she said, I had one experience that started in the lower levels of the hotel, and it was pretty intense. I walked through a cold spot, but what stopped me in my tracks was that when I went to take a step to go upstairs, I felt electricity shooting through my entire body. I stopped and I said out loud, is there anyone here with me? I don't know what I was expecting. Once that feeling passed, I went up to the front desk, put my stuff in the back office, and started straightening up a table that's next to the desk. As I was straightening, I felt something small come up and bear hug my legs. I looked down to my left, nothing was there. I looked to my right, nothing was there. I'll never forget that one. That was one of our little ones, and I think they really pick up on my energy as a grandmother. And so, and she's not the only one that's reported that. There's been other people that said they felt like a little kid wrapping their hands around their leg. Like a leg, not both legs, but a leg. There's also a piano that's said to be played by mysterious little hands. And random women have reported hearing someone cry out, "Mommy." So they've, and multiple women have reported that. So, there's also the first floor bathroom near the music hall, which there's a large brunch that goes on like every weekend.
Every Sunday, according to the
Yes,
website.
and
Sunday
it's
brunch at the Grand Galvez.
$80 a ticket.
Whoa!
For breakfast?
Brunch.
What are they serving?
Brunch per.
It doesn't say what they're serving. I already tried to look at it.
So do we get mimosas with this?
I'm not sure. I just know because my friend was there, like I said last week.
Cetra caviar.
And she's like, we were going to go eat, but there was brunch here. And so we thought, well, we'll see if it's reasonable. She said it's $80 an adult and $40 a child. I said, are they serving caviar and lobster?
I mean, they might.
They might. I can't. I can't do that.
They did that every day at the place in Jamaica. And every morning they had like smoked salmon, just rows of it, and smoked swordfish, and prosciutto di Parma. At the time, $25 now $35 a pound prosciutto di Parma, just laid out, just all you can eat. All you can eat.
For a special meal, $80 though.
For a brunch. But then your kids, I'm sorry.
It's an experience. How's that?
It is.
We'll say it's an
I'm
experience.
sure the food's great. And maybe you get drinks with it. That would be ideal.
Probably.
I have heard, she did tell me that apparently with the new,
Better be a Bloody Mary and a mimosa.
that it took 30 minutes to get a drink at the bar. So we're having some issues with how new we are right now. But you know what? I'm sure they got to work out some kinks. It's fine.
Out the Founders Bar.
But $80, I have a hard time eating $80 worth of food.
I don't.
So
I tell you what, I pay $80 for their brunch. I'm going to put them out of business.
here.
It's just like if you ever, I don't recommend necessarily doing this, but if you go to Golden Corral,
I do like their
I just eat
gracious.
steak over and over. I'd eat pounds of steak. They lose money on people like me. They make money on kids who go in there and eat mac and cheese and stuff, and they lose money on men who go in there and eat like 4 pounds of steak.
and maybe this is crab, lobster, lots of
I don't know.
seafood because crab,
So
is
then I get it.
$40 a bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's expensive. So, and I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I would be honest. If I'm thinking brunch and I see that the ticket price is $80, I'm going to be floored.
Brunch is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, because, if you got Benedict's and you have the kind with the crab, lump crab meat and stuff on there, I can see
I said,
that.
are we serving surf and turf breakfast? Because if
'Cause
you're just going to
eggs-
give me an
eggs
eggs
are really
Benny, I'm going to be
expensive.
like,
Eggs are really expensive now,
well, it better be a fresh crab
They do
cake eggs
serve-
Benny.
They do serve breakfast
I'm sure
at
there's
the
a mimosa
Monarch
with
restaurant
it,
on
Bloody Mary.
non-Sundays, and it ain't cheap.
Well, and that may include mimosa, Bloody Mary, your breakfasty drinks. I'm not sure. But I say that because there's a first floor bathroom near the music hall, which is where this is held. Or that's where, like, this restaurant is down there. And it is said to be haunted. People just get a creepy vibe. Lights go out after entering a stall. Loud footsteps when no one is there. Toilets flushing when no one's there. Children laughing. Stall doors shaking. Sink faucets turning on by themselves. And voices being heard. Also, the scent of gardenias, which is said to be the sign of whatever paranormal entity haunts the room.
The gardenia smell, like the cigar smoke or
At Crescent.
pipe smoke at Crescent.
At Michael's room. Apparently it's
Okay.
gardenia scented stuff. So, and then to round everything out, and I took some pictures, or I have some pictures, but the painting of Viscount Bernardo del Galvez. He was a Spanish governor of Louisiana, and he's the namesake of the hotel. He died in 1786.
Yeah, is Galveston named after him as well? The island of Galveston.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that on
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. I kind of figured it.
And
was
that's where the
same guy.
Galvez is from. That's his actual name. So the painting is at the head of the grand staircase.
Right. I saw this. Remember, I said that looks haunted as
And
hell.
I said, and it is. People have reported his eyes following guests as they walk by. So kind of like the Mona Lisa, I guess. People standing next to the painting have reported feeling chills or uneasiness. And when people have reported trying to take pictures of the painting, their photos are distorted, with skeletal images emerging instead of the image of Galvez.
Really?
That's what people say.
Okay.
But there is a report that the only photographs that have had a clear picture of the portrait are when the photographer has asked the portrait for permission.
Do you think the one on the website, they asked him for permission?
They
Because
may
it's
have.
a clear photograph on it.
It is a clear photograph.
I don't think it's the boat, it's the painting. I think it's the staircase, because that is a haunted-ass looking staircase.
I know. My friend who went, she said her 6-year-old daughter, who's soon to be 7, said, "Mom, I'm not going over there. It's creepy over there."
It is creepy.
It's creepy.
The
And so-
dark wood paneling and the red carpet going up. You'll put a picture in here, but
Yeah, I have a picture.
I didn't even notice the painting. What I noticed was the staircase. I was like, ugh.
So all you need now is this little kid walking around going red, red,
Reminds
red,
me
red,
of
red,
staircase
red,
at the
red, red.
Crescent or at every other haunted
hotel.
something-year-old hotel.
But I will say, we'll put some of these pictures.
Oh yeah, that whole area. Look at that creepy statue thing in the.
That's the elevator.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's-
somebody's standing in the elevator doing this.
That's one of those silhouettes. But we'll put this on here. I mean, they've really, they have Queen of the Gulf written on the floor. Brand new, carpeting. And this apparently, when you post this up here, it's actually, printed fabric wallpaper.
It's impressive. The area, I don't know if it's the restaurant or whatever, with the black and white tile.
Hang on. That's
That's a
Yeah,
very
that's
luxurious looking place. I will say
that's
that.
it. Yeah, that's dope right there. That is beautiful.
It's very
Yeah.
checkered, almost 1950s. But so we'll post these
1930s.
pictures up there.
That's
But
very,
Make sure you forward those to me.
yeah,
This time.
those are all. I did forward them to you. You just didn't put them on there.
Okay, you're right.
Call me out.
I've always wanted to stay there. I've never stayed. It is cost prohibitive, we always ended up in a condo rather than at the Galvez.
I think it would be. So that's all. Those are the significant stories. I mean, you hear about people saying that their doors open, doors slamming, the drawers, hallway, laughter.
As soon as they told me, as soon as I heard the story, it's built on a mass grave, I was like, stay in there.
Yeah. Where I'm like, nope.
What's the most mass gravy room you've got?
Yeah.
501 apparently is where Audra hangs out, but that's her room. But, everything I read on TripAdvisor, there was a lot of people that reported that they did have an experience, but nobody, nothing as significant as, when we had the Crockett Hotel and, the shaking lampshades and things like that. It wasn't that none of them seemed to be creeped out. It's like they knew this is haunted. This is what I'm going to experience. But it's pretty active apparently.
Nobody woke up with a succubus on their chest, choking them out.
Not that I was able to read, but people do have experiences, and so it's not like it's you hear about it and you read reviews and everyone's like, I didn't have an experience. This one's like, oh yeah, we had 3, and so many people catch pictures and video of hauntings.
So we have some pictures and stuff that we can include.
Yes.
Awesome.
We throw up on all the YouTube videos when we do them.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
You see
yeah.
shadows in the corners and in the hallways, and people reporting seeing shadows of things that weren't there when they take pictures in the hallways, kind of like in the Crescent, people taking pictures of the mirrors. And less orbs, more people,
That's
actual people.
Oh,
That's good.
Shadows,
That's cool.
Less
So-
artifact, more actual.
But I think it's
Probably
really
maybe a spirit.
apparently talking to some locals there, because we were there recently too. We were south of there, but that this hotel was in disrepair in
was it?
in 2020. It was very
I'd heard that.
poor repair.
Was
So
it-
I'm glad that somebody has taken it back. And
Was it in disrepair because of the company that had it was mismanaging, or they just weren't doing as well?
It seemed like their estates management wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah.
That's what I had read some stuff. And I was like, man, for that much money,
Right.
and then you got some mold in a room, or
Yeah.
things not working correctly.
Well, and you have to think about too, during that time, COVID, a lot of people weren't traveling and everything.
That's true,
People weren't
you know.
able to. So you're not going to put in a whole bunch of money into something that people
When
aren't
you
going to
can't
come
get it
visit.
back for a year or however long.
But then those people bought it in 2021, put in $31 million to renovate it. But you can see no holds barred. I mean,
it's gorgeous. It's
it looks
absolutely
beautiful.
they really
gorgeous.
took it back to what it used to look like, I think.
Yeah.
To the best that we know.
Yeah.
So
And it seems like they've done a lot with the restaurant too.
yeah.
I'm a menu peruser at Haunted Hotel. I like to see.
And they have a full bar. They do have
Bar is beautiful. It's a beautiful oak bar.
yeah, they have a full bar, pool, hot tub, all
Spa.
together.
The pool is cool. as
Valet.
shit. They've got the cabanas.
Yes.
Like you would see in a fancy Miami hotel or something.
Oh, really?
The beach leaf palm fronds type stuff. So it's very nice, especially because where it's at across the street, it's not far from the pleasure pier now that they have. They've
The pleasure pier.
They
The
rebuilt
pleasure
it.
pier.
They
Whoa, what's
rebuilt
going
it.
on at the pleasure pier?
That's what I
Roller
want to know.
coasters.
Oh, roller coasters.
Is that the one that used to have the restaurant on the and then it got blown? Okay.
Yes.
Is roller coasters like code for something else?
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
just
an
a roller
amusement. It's a
coaster.
little mini amusement.
So they've
park.
turned it
Okay.
kind of like Santa Monica.
Yes, ish, Coney
Yeah.
Island kind of thing, but
Like
I
a
mean,
mini Santa
very,
Monica pier.
very small.
Yeah, because that's not.
It's
that
actually where
big of
Bubba
a-
Gump, the Bubba Gump shrimp goes right there,
I
and
have
you can
eaten
walk
at
out
that
over there.
Bubba Gump shrimp
So wait,
back in 2013. I ate there.
We ate there. Were you impressed?
Not particularly.
I was not
Mara
impressed at all.
really enjoyed the tempura shrimp, and she wanted T-shirts and the souvenir glasses and all the crap they were trying to sell you.
Yeah, all the souvenir
well,
stuff
I mean,
is cool, but
and it's
the food
right
was
there
not.
on the water, so that's kind of cool.
okay.
But the hotel is right there, so I would venture to just hang out at the pool and watch the people on the beach, then go get stung by jellyfish with all these other freaking
Right.
in the sand. I don't like the sand, so I just want to hang out at the pool because you can see it. I mean, it's open.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather just do that than go hang out there. But
Yeah. So I will Bubba Gump shrimp, Saltgrass Steakhouse, Landry's Seafood, and there's one more, and it's all owned by Landry's.
By Landry. We have a Landry's card.
Do you?
Guidos,
Guido's done by Landry? Guido's, I will say, best crab cakes.
I don't think Guidos is owned by Landry.
I don't think it is, and Guido's has
But it's
like the
it's
best
right.
crab cakes.
It's right there, and it is so good.
It
But
is
talk
good.
about. I haven't been there in a few years. They never did a reno on that
No.
beast.
No, they-
Like I think it's got original carpet,
It's
original
tacky as hell.
vases.
From
These
19
giant,
Oh, my God.
like
Well, let me tell you,
horrible vases.
if you're staying at the Galvez and you really want, and it's not cheap at all, Guido's, but Guido's crab cakes are the bomb.
So, yes, Guidos is there. I don't think that is owned by.
Yeah, I got so
Yeah.
frustrated with everything being owned by Landry's. The last time Mara and I took my daughter down there back in 2013 over July 4th weekend. We stayed in Clear Lake at a real nice.
So it
hotel up
frustrated
there.
you because they owned it, or
I don't know. It was like, is there any restaurants that Landry's doesn't own down here? Because we would go to the pier, the boardwalk to Kemah, and we went to Galveston, and we also did NASA. And you just kept running into, it's Landry's Group. You know, I don't know. It's irritating. I found a beautiful diner.
I do like saltgrass. I'm not gonna
I've
lie.
never eaten at Saltgrass. But I have eaten at Rainforest Cafe and Bubba Gump Shrimp, and I never ever want to do it again.
Rainforest is for kids because
Yeah.
it's fun and it's cute and whatever.
It's cutesy for kids.
She loved that.
So if you wanted to go nostalgic, Guidos was also open in 1911, the same
Yeah.
year the air conditioning was invented. So it's kind of fun, but it's still open. What's that tell you? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is still open as a restaurant. So
Oh, yeah.
it is bomb. They have amazing crab. But so anyway, Galvez, go stay there. I mean, you're ranging from like right now, you could go get a room. I think it said August 21st, like a Tuesday, was $152 a night for a king. That's not it's not an ocean view. If you want an
Right.
ocean view, it's like $250. But that's not bad. I mean, so anywhere between $150 to $350, depending on what you want. I mean, if I'm going there and I'm going to already be at the beach, I'll spend $150 for it's on the seawall.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily have to see the ocean. I'll just walk out of my room. But so yeah, go hang out. See if you can get some ghosties. Maybe we need to go hang out sometime there.
At the Galvez?
I'd love to go.
I've always wanted to go. I want to go to that room 51. Is it
501?
501, yeah.
Like jeans.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there because that's the one that I've always read about being
Yes.
the most haunted and
Yeah.
everything. So
Well, there's just
I
some
think it'd be
hotels,
fun.
especially if you're from Texas, that you know about. There's hotels in general. The Stanley, the Crescent. If
Texas,
you
you
know.
got the Baker over in Mineral Wells.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Then
right
you've
up
got,
there,
but
top
you
of
know
the
about the
haunted list.
Galvez. Like people
Everybody
know
knows
about the Galvez.
So,
And
so go stay at the Galvez, catch some ghosties,
yes.
and check us out in all the places.
And maybe if we plug them enough, the Galvez
Maybe
will bring us down.
Galvez,
Maybe
Galvez,
Mary
Galvez.
and Group will bring us down and let us stay for free.
Absolutely.
Maybe throw us some brunch tickets.
There you
know.
go. There you go.
And our drink of the night was
Cenote.
Cenote
Cenote.
Reposado, 100% agave azul.
Go get you some.
Go get some.
It's okay. It's not awful.
It's all right. It's not bad.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's passable.
It's middle of the road.
It's no Don Julio Blanco. It's
No.
no Mienta.
It's not
Oh, it's not
Herradura,
Mijenta for sure, but yeah.
but
All
it
right.
doesn't suck. Alrighty. Y'all
Have a good night. Thank you.
Night.
Ooh, got the ear sweats. No, I mean, there is a fly that just will not
I
leave
know,
me alone.
right?
And I'm like, dude, I
Son of a
think I
bitch.
use deodorant.
You smell like garbage. Boston Hurricane Katrina.
So this was not bad.
It is exactly what we were talking about. I wished I'd spent the extra $10 and got
The good tequila.
the one in the antique looking bottle with the